Welcome to Sonic Tonic. Join me, Jen Davidson, on a peaceful night journey into relaxation and calm. Unwind with soft reading and chill vibes in this lushly soothing indie show.
You know everything falls apart. It all falls apart. You know everything falls apart. It all falls apart. Everything, skin and bones and parts, dust and bones, calcium and rust, time, everything, take your time, spend it any way you like, waste it if you must. Close your eyes. Tell me what you see. Hold on to the memories crumbling. Tumble it down. Crash into the ground without a sound. You know everything falls apart. It all falls apart. You know everything falls apart. It all falls apart. You know everything falls apart. It all falls apart. You know everything falls apart. Love me while you can. It all thank you for being my sweetest friend. You know everything love me falls apart. Love me while you can. It all thank you for being my sweetest friend. You know everything love me falls apart. Love me while you can. It all thank you for being my sweetest friend. You know everything love me falls apart. Love me while you can. It all thank you for being my sweetest friend. Everything falls apart. It all falls apart.
You're watching Sonic Tonic with Jen Davidson.
Hi everyone, this is Jen and I'd like to welcome you to episode 4 of Sonic Tonic. I am delighted to tell you that we just watched Joe Orr. I thought that was a fabulous video. There was a lot to look at and also really beautiful music. So thank you, Joe. And right now what I'm going to do is take just one moment. It's unrehearsed. We've all had a lot of stress this week. There are a lot of things going on in the world. I've been saying this and I've been saying this, but especially today. There are a lot of things going on in the world that just are unacceptable and stressing us all out to the max. If you have a soul, a heart, a feeling within you, this week has just grabbed every ounce out of you that you possibly have left to give and even more. So I want to let you know you're not alone. We're going to relax together tonight, but also this is not Pollyanna-ish. If that's an old reference, my bad. We're not going to sugarcoat everything. It's okay to not feel okay all the time, and I'm going to segue from that into saying that I'm absolutely thrilled to have a particular guest on the show tonight, and we're going to get to her in just a little bit, but in the meantime, I picked my reading tonight specifically for Adria, and it's a Gothic poem from the late 1800s by author Alice Meynell, and it's beautiful. It's really short, but it's beautiful. So I'm going to go into this poem that speaks about loving and despairing at the same time. Feel free to relax, but this is going to be a shorter than usual one. I may move Lilith briefly if she won't fall. There we go. All right. Okay. This poem is about the quiet strength it takes to move through the day, carrying longing, grief, or love, and the relief that comes at night when we're finally allowed to soften and let go. The poem is called Renouncement. I must not think of thee, and tired yet strong, I shun the thought that lurks in all delight, the thought of thee, and in the blue heaven's height, and in the sweetest passage of a song. Oh, just beyond the fairest thoughts that throng this breast, the thought of thee waits hidden yet bright. But it must never, never come in sight. I must stop short of thee the whole day long. But when sleep comes to close each difficult day, when night gives pause to the long watch I keep, and all my bonds I need must loose apart, must doff my will as raiment laid away with the first dream that comes with the first sleep. I run, I run, I am gathered to thy heart. Thank you very much. And next up we have Annie Leeth.
Cool.
Nice.
Sick.
That one felt really good, right?
Yeah, that one was my favorite for sure.
Hey everyone, welcome back. That was Annie Leeth, and right now I'm here with who you hopefully heard live earlier, Tears for the Dying, aka Adria Stembridge. Hello,
Hi, nice
hello.
to be here.
Yay, thank you so much for coming. And not only you, but your like super swanky entourage of stuffies that you brought with you has made me so happy. I can't even describe
This
it.
is the first time stuffies have really been not out of my house, but especially on like anything public. So
Wow. Well, this is a very special night then.
Yes,
this is their
it is.
debut,
The debut.
outbreak. It's field trip night for the stuffies. These guys are used to the camera. In fact, they're pretty much like child actors. They've never grown up any other way. They don't know how to be without it. So, but these are my dudes here. I'll introduce you. I've got four. I've got
Okay.
Ralph, who's the big one.
Ralph, okay.
This one is Parsnip the snail.
Parsnip, snail, parsnip.
This one is Lilith the plague doctor.
The plague doctor with the mushroom head.
Yes, absolutely. And a little basket of who knows what's in there. Vaccinations,
Some
perhaps?
tonic maybe?
Some sonic tonic. That would be a great idea. And this is Fig, who is the ladybug. Yes. So these guys are my little friends. And now I think it's only fair if you introduce me
I'm
to yours.
glad to introduce my
Please
friends.
do.
So
me
one of my
make
friends
room.
doesn't really have a name, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So this is a little mini Rei Ayanami or Ayanami Day from an anime show I love a lot and I discovered back in the 2010s called Neon Genesis Evangelion. One of the songs I played earlier tonight was literally about this show. So
Really? How cool.
little mini Rei. So
And repeat Neon something Evangelion.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay.
It's
I
on
can
Netflix,
repeat.
but it's been gay washed on Netflix, and I recommend finding another way to watch it.
Okay. Very fair. Very
For
fair.
sure. Not that there's not other thing. Okay. Next is going to be Cube, and Cube is a mischievous little creature that obviously looks a little bit like a cat. It's got a big fluffy tail here and big fluffy ears. And Cube is from another anime I liked a lot called Madoka Magica. And I won't spoil the show for everybody, but Cube is a little bastard. And but he's my little
Really,
bastard.
Cube. The
Really.
nerve of you.
Let's see. While we're on the anime theme, this is somebody made for me back in 2021, and this is Clara, and Clara is a jellyfish and kind of the mascot of another anime called Princess Jellyfish.
Ooh.
And it's an anime that I fell in love with. I saw again back in the 2010s, and I still like watching it from time to time today. I don't keep in touch with the person who made this for me much anymore, but I really cherish, and I was going through a lot at that time, and this was such a kindness, and I keep it and keep it around as a reminder of that kindness.
How beautiful.
So what else do we have? Okay, we have this. This is definitely not have a name. This is literally just a Halloween pillow that someone crocheted for me, and it's at the bottom it says Halloween in Japanese.
Oh, very cool. I was wondering. I noticed there was language there. But...
Yeah. Halloween in katakana, and so I'm studying Japanese, and so they also know I love bats, and this was the wife of Cody, one of my prior guitar players, made this for me
Very
a couple
cool.
years ago. So I cherish this because it was a handmade gift, and I love it so much. Which brings us to the last two stuffies, and I guess I'll go this one first.
Okay.
This one, unfortunately, you cannot see that it's actually green and black.
Oh! I had to look over here. I know I'm supposed to look over here at you.
Right,
but I gotta
right.
look over here like side eye. I can't catch myself fast enough
Right.
to see that it looks like space background right here.
Right. But this part right here, it's supposed to be green, that it's blue. My friend Catherine gave this to me after I had surgery in North Carolina now almost 7 years ago. And so Kat brought this up to me and gave it to me in the hospital room, and I've kept... it's a funny thing, when I first saw this thing, and of course I'm drugged out of my mind, so from all the pain medications, and I literally called this thing Frog. 'Cause it was green.
It was green, and that's what you saw. And the eyes.
And the eyes, yeah.
Green with eyes.
Right. So I called it Frog forever, and it actually is a cat that happens to be green. So.
A cat named Frog.
Neko Kaeru.
Oh,
Neko
how
Kaeru desu.
cute. That's adorable.
Thank you, Catherine, if you happen to be ever watching this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Catherine.
And finally, it brings us to Pookie Bear. Pookie Bear is my favorite stuffy of all time. I've had Pookie for quite some time. I think about 20 years or so. And
Wow.
Pookie Bear sleeps on my bed every night. And Pookie's been with me through a lot of hard times, and like I've been through multiple different surgeries, and yeah, it's just like Pookie's always there, and sometimes I just have to give Pookie a hug, and Pookie hugs back and makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, that's Pookie Bear.
Pookie, thanks for being there for Adria and for being here for us. I appreciate you. I think we all do. Yes. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but my brother, my little brother, Jeff, he had a stuffed animal teddy bear when he was a kid named Pookie. That's fine. He didn't want to give that shit up. That was going on for quite a while. Pookie and also Pinky the blanket, but that's a story for another day.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So I delight in each and every one of your stuffy friends, and I hope you have had fun
I
with
think you
meeting mine
sim-
too.
Yes.
And
yes,
I want to ask you also, I noticed that in a lot of the names and anime, you're referencing Japanese, yeah? So you're studying this language, I believe, and you're teaching it to yourself. Is this correct?
Well, yeah, more or less for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, 日本語が難しいですね。Japanese is very hard. It's a very difficult language to learn because it has 4 alphabets. And sometimes you have languages that may have a couple, but there's 4 different alphabets in Japanese. Number 1, there's kanji, which are based around the Chinese characters that we're all familiar with. And they don't always have the same Chinese meaning. So if you know Mandarin, the same kanji is not going to necessarily mean what you think it means. Then there's a couple of kind of Japanese specific alphabets. The first is hiragana, and that one is reserved. It's Japanese alphabet reserved for Japanese native words, and I'll kind of contrast that with the next one, which is called katakana, and katakana is Japanese alphabet for borrowed words from other cultures. So things like kohi, which is coffee, kohi is spelled in katakana, and whereas like karage is like a type of fried chicken that I love making. That one is spelled with hiragana or sometimes kanji. So, and then there's a 4th alphabet, which is the romanized version of Japanese. So like Westerners can look at Romaji and kind of sometimes figure out how to say things, more or less. So it's very difficult.
Cool.
It's crazy difficult to learn. And not only like there's the alphabets, there's also like when you get into actually speaking Japanese, most of it is really not that difficult for Westerners to pronounce. Like a lot of the sounds, they're kind of syllabic sounds, like sa, si, su, and so on like that. So those are easy to say with our mouths and tongues.
Sure.
There's the R sounds, which can be a little bit hard, but if you speak Spanish, you'll probably already kind of get it. Like it's kind of Japanese a lot is like kind of your kind of forward of the mouth and kind of upper of the mouth cavity, kind of is very in that region, whereas like French and is, like it's very guttural kind
A
of.
little more guttural.
Yeah, kind of difference there, but like it's not that hard to pronounce. But like even when you're speaking, there's like pitch accent. So like the word kami can mean Kami, kami can mean God. Kami can mean turtle. It can mean hair, depending on how your kami, depending on how your pitch accent is. So that's an important thing. Layered on top of all this is the whole concept of keigo, and keigo is how you speak to others. And in Japanese, it's a very polite, respectful society, and you like basically you don't like in America we're so free and we can just go up and like chit chat with people in Japanese. And it's different. It's very reserved, And you kind of need to know, like, for example, the age of who you're talking with, like to know whether to use keigo, formal or informal. So if like we're talking to somebody that's older than us or to a superior at our school or whatever, we would use formal words. And if we're talking to someone younger than us, like then we use casual. Or whatever. So there's so many different layers to it. It's a very, very difficult language. I don't think it's I don't think it's the hardest language to learn in the world. And I certainly have not done myself any favors waiting until my 5th decade on this earth to start learning it. But it's a good exercise, and I started learning it, as I mentioned before, like, the early 2020s were just a shit show for so many of us.
Right.
And learning Japanese was a way to take my mind off of feeling bad and like to kind of give me something to practice, and inside every new word I learned was a little victory. And
that's such a nice way of looking at it. I know a lot of people are learning languages and they're looking at it as like, oh my gosh, I need to get fluent, right?
I mean,
fluency is one goal, but I love your approach of choosing a word. And also I love kind of how you came to this during the pandemic, and I learned from you something new about that too, because I only knew about kanji, and I just thought all of the Japanese characters were called kanji. I didn't know anything different than that. So you're teaching me some stuff here too. And I think, if I may, I want to slightly switch, just a little bit, switch gears. You're here in Athens. How many years have you been in Athens, if you recall?
Oh, wow. Going back to the early 1970s, my parents had me in Atlanta. That's where like my older brothers were from. That's what their childhood was in Atlanta. But they had me in Atlanta, and then like months after, they wound up moving to Athens for, I think my dad was going to UGA. He was doing graduate studies, and he needed to be closer to the school. So they bought a house here in Athens and moved in the early 70s. So that's my earliest recollection of living is Athens. So
in Athens. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was such a fun and it was such a fun and just relaxed and chill time back then. Like it was so different from what you could imagine.
Yeah, things have changed a great deal over the last several decades here in Athens. A little bit. We've seen a lot more corporate stuff coming in, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
And, we're working on just lifting up the flourishing art scene to be more flourishing, and to bring in more young people, and probably I won't do that by calling young people. Seriously, like,
okay, Grandma, it's time to put you to bed.
I know, exactly. So whatever we need to do, we want to reach other people as well, and that's not the way to do it, but you get my point.
Absolutely.
I think you get my point. So I'm going to ask you, as diehard Athenian and a musician.
Okay.
Don't think too hard about this, because it's not a tough question. It's only for fun, okay?
Only for fun. I feel
I know, this is why I'm like prefacing it. Only for fun.
Okay.
I'd love to hear what just like one or two of your favorite local bands are called.
One or two of my favorite local bands, past and present. My favorite local bands, the Earthworms.
Okay, the Earthworms.
Right. And other favorite Athens local bands names of, honestly, Monty's Nerve Clinic.
Monty's Nerve Clinic. That's not one I know. What kind of music is that?
Now it's different. Nerve Clinic was, and I've shared the story before, and I'll share it again briefly here. So I was raised in a very Christian conservative kind of environment, and didn't know and was kind of kept away from anything fun.
Right.
So basically, like, I could listen to a little bit of top 40, and that was it. So by the time I reached my like 18, where I could start going out to clubs, I was like, oh wow, this is the thing. There's live music. And so I was terrified. I started going downtown by myself. It was so freaking scary. Like, and I would see posters for bands like Lunatics and things like that playing, or Barbecue Killers, and and different. And I was like, these sound kind of really scary to me. Like,
Yeah.
it was so foreign, but they were everything but, like, anyway. So I went down to the old 40 Watt Club, or one of the old 40 Watt clubs, the one where Caledonia was.
Right.
And I would go there, and I went there one night, and I heard this really loud kind of stuff coming from the venue, and like it sounded interesting. I go in the door, it's pitch black. So like, and there are some guys on stage. One of them is playing drums. Another one's playing just these really kind of choppy guitar riffs or whatever. And on either side of the stage, there are two like CRT TVs. And each one, as I got closer to the stage and was able to watch, each one was playing a like homemade horror movie. So one of them was showing like this person's tongue fake getting cut out.
Ew.
Another one was showing someone fake getting burned at the stake. And so all this is going on, this very rhythmic, driving, kind of just like clanky kind of stuff in the background with these kind of punky sounding guitars. It was terrifying, and I loved it.
You loved it.
So
okay.
I would call the music now industrial, and like 80s industrial music. It was like kind of like the original. And Athens, and I'm sure Steve has talked a bit about this before, Fitzpatrick, but Athens had a very rich industrial scene, even back in the 1980s, going back to the early 80s. Even like Michael Stipe was involved in an industrial project. So Athens has had a very rich rich history of industrial music proper, although I don't think we have much of a scene like as big as it was maybe back in the 80s as we do today. Nerve Clinic was one of the very first bands I went to go see. So
wow.
100%.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
One of the first industrial bands you went to go see here in Athens. So we've got Nerve Clinic and also
Earthworms.
Two different sounding things completely. But I always like to ask questions like that.
Yeah, it's a fun question. I love it.
Another thing I like to ask about sometimes is food. Do you have a favorite food that you would like to share or two? Because I enjoy food and culinary things very much, and I'm a non-judgmental vegan, so you can say whatever you'd like to say about whatever you'd like to say, but I'm curious.
Favorite food? That's
if there's like a snack you love to get and just kind of delight when you have that.
A couple things, like I miss Bud wine. Bud wine was manufactured or made in Athens back in the 1970s, and we used to drink it. I guess it was around even in the 1980s. They bottled it in that same stretch of Prince where the grit was, and so.
Sorry.
I thought you were playing me off. I was like, wait a minute.
So, Bud wine is definitely old school, and you can't find it anywhere anymore. The closest I found kind of is cheer wine, and similar to that. It's kind of a cherry kind of drink. So Bud wine's definitely one of my faves. As far as like food, though, it's a tough one because there's so many different restaurants that have come and gone through the years. Golden Bowls from the Grit are like ranked pretty high up on my list of favorite things.
I second that. That's pretty high up there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say the top, but like it's pretty high up there.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I know I ate a lot of trash. I mean, I'm trying to eat better, but like I did when I was
no judgment zone.
One of my favorite things to do back in my like early 20s, when I was like, by this time I was like going to see bands a lot, and I was hanging out downtown and had a mohawk and hanging out with other kids downtown that had the mohawks and stuff, and like, so we were poor punk kids, and my favorite thing to do would be go downtown like on a Friday or Saturday night and go into Barnett's and get myself a Coke, go next door to the grill and get the feta fries, the feta sauce.
Fries with feta. I remember it so well.
And they were like big ass chunky, like it's hard to call them fries.
But they were like
steak fries, but
they
crinkly.
They were the best. Yeah,
they were so fucking good. So definitely, I'm like hungry for grill fries right now. That's another favorite of mine. And strictly because it was something I was taken to a lot as a kid, and I later found out from somebody who worked there, it was roach infested and gross. It was Meynell's on Baxter Street.
That one I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little Mexican restaurant. It was around back in the 70s. For sure, and we went there a lot as a kid, and so it was kind of like more nostalgic. So that was like that for me, for sure. And I guess like the other food thing that I've never actually ate, which is important and kind of cool, is my family, we had a small little tract of land a little bit on the outside of Athens, and we grew. We had a garden there, so we actually had like 3 acres of garden space. My dad had a big tractor, and like they did all the field work, and my brothers like we should plant okra and we can sell okra. So they thought they were going to make money, and maybe they did, but it was really hard work, as you might imagine. So we wound up growing okra, like 2 acres of okra, which is insane. And I remember going down to the hardware store in downtown Athens, right at the very bottom of the hill after you get across through downtown, kind of where One Athens Place is now. There was like a hardware store there, and like my dad and I would drive down in the pickup truck, and he would get seed. We'd drive back out to the farm, and we'd plant okra. And so okra grew in summertime, and okra is prodigious as it grows and just reproduces so fast.
Yes.
So they were constantly out there picking every like couple weeks, bushel and bushel. They would take it to grocery stores, and they also took it to restaurants around town. And one of the restaurants they took it to was this little place on, what's the name of the street? I feel like I'm losing all my points because I can't remember.
No,
it's the
you're
street
not.
where Morton Theater is on.
Okay.
It's the side street. And right where Morton Theater was a restaurant called the El Dorado Cafe.
Okay.
And so this is back in the 1970s, and there happened to be, we'd sold, and I went with my brothers to sell. I walked into the kitchen. It was really steamy hot. I remember that. And they bought like a half a bushel of okra from us. And there were several young people, I guess college students at the time. Mm-hmm. And so later found out that at that time, several of the B-52s worked at the El Dorado Cafe, and I probably met them like when I was like, that tall.
And like had no concept or reverence for what was happening at the moment, and like, how could you possibly? That's an amazing story.
Right.
That's pretty awesome stuff, and a lot of cool foods too. My takeaway from this is that I crave the feta and fry combo. That is like a winning combo if ever there was one.
For sure. I really wish we could find somewhere to, even if I could, the feta we could make. It's just those
fries. Yeah, those fries. Man, I know there are a lot of people watching who are like, I remember those fries.
Drop in the comments if you know how to get them or wherever.
Yes, if you would like to deliver us those fries, we appreciate you greatly. And so I think this has been a pretty incredible chat, and the time has flown by. I am going to wrap up by asking, Adria, how do people stay in touch with you? How do they follow you, follow your music? You can tell the camera. You can just let people know how to stay in touch with you.
Absolutely. So for all the music things, you can follow us on Instagram is what I'm most active on, and that's Instagram/Tears for the Dying Band. And we also have a Facebook page and a TikTok, which I post some videos on. I'm not a huge TikToker, but I do some of it. And we have a YouTube channel, and we're music that you've heard earlier tonight is on all the streaming platforms, Apple, Tidal, and I won't mention the other one that's problematic, but it's out there.
Right. Right.
And more and more people are leaving, which is great. They're all horrible, but like anyway, that's not why we're here. So yeah, streaming platforms, and of course on Bandcamp, you can go out and check out our music there, and we have like a little bit of merch and stuff there. So like, definitely that's probably the best way to keep in touch with the music and band and so on. And I also one of my other little side gigs is as it were, like I love weather, like. I've been a huge...
Yes! This is right. I've forgotten how much you help me follow the weather, actually. I follow you for the weather instead of the weather. I have never been wrong in making that decision.
So, I like... I've been a huge weather nerd for for a long time. And like, I've just learned about it kind of informally and studied, learning how to read Skew charts and... how to read all the different models and all that. Definitely not a meteorologist. I wish that I had another 30 years of my life because I would totally go back to school and do that. But if you want to figure out more about weather in Athens, Georgia weather, we have a subreddit called reddit.com/r/Athens GA weather. So I post on there a lot. There's also an Athens Georgia Townie Weather Girl YouTube channel. That's Athens Georgia Townie Weather Girl YouTube channel. So if you just Google that or whatever. I don't do a lot of content on YouTube, only when there's really fun stuff coming up or there's really serious stuff, like last year with Helene, or with fucking Helene. That's right? Am I remembering that right?
Maybe.
Foggy brain.
You're good.
So, and then like definitely we're also looking at potentially maybe some cold weather coming in later this month, but it's not enough right now to make a video on or whatever because it's out there in La La Land as far as models go. So if you like weather, definitely hop on the Athens GA weather subreddit and say hi. So.
Yes, this has been amazing. Adria, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for inviting me,
I
Jen.
really love
This
this.
has been so fun.
And all your stuffies, and I hope that you'll come back and spend time with me again.
I would love that.
Maybe you have new music coming out, or maybe you just want to hang and you got another stuffy, and we'll just make another, part 2 of this.
I would love that.
So we don't actually have to finish this conversation. We can just hit the pause button and come back to it later.
Let's do it.
Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. And next up, there's going to be a video. And listen, I have too much respect to try to butcher the name of this band. What I'm going to do is say Static Ron of Chiron Label with Josh Brown has put this video together and this music and this sound. It's beautiful. It's ambient, it's relaxing, you're gonna enjoy it, and it means love spell in Swedish. Thank you for joining us on Sonic Tonic, and have a beautiful evening. I love you. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, there's a delay.
That's okay. Yay, we're done.
Now I have to go pack all that up.
Yes, now you have to
I'd rather just like sit here.
From Athens, Georgia, thank you for sharing a bit of the night with me. Good night, sweet dreams, and sleep on it. Pancake, show me your bug face. Show me your bug face. Yes, good boy. Let me get you a bug.